said I'm going to back Tottenham tonight. Jose Mourinho. And Jose Mourinho, he has got this Tottenham team playing in his image. It reminds me of his early years at Chelsea. It reminds me him at Porto. It reminds me of him at Inter Milan. Not just are we seeing the players happy to at times be very pragmatic and defensive and then spring into attack. They're doing it with joy and with glee. I'm sure Harry Kane is calling him daddy like Didier Drogba used to do. And I mean that in a positive way, right? Equally, the posts on Instagram, and hear me out on this. I think the posts on Instagram, him having fun, for me is a clear demonstration that he is loving life again. And I know I got mocked up in a video recently talking about how Jose Mourinho was finished. And it's fine to do that because that's part and parcel of being a YouTuber. But I go back to what I said, attitude. So I don't think he's happy. I don't think he's mentally in the place to manage a football team anymore. I was wrong. And I'm happy to say that I was wrong because I am, to an extent, enjoying seeing the proper Jose Mourinho back. I just get the feeling this year with Tottenham, when he has a fully fit squad like he does, he is going to go lots of the traditional top six, and he's going to be pragmatic. He may only have 4 or 5 shots in the game, but when you've got Son and Harry Kane on that counter attack, getting those opportunities, I think they'll do it. And I've got a feeling that there's a shock in store this weekend for Chelsea. I think Chelsea will be the aggressors. I think they'll struggle to break Tottenham down, and then it's just going to be a ball or two over the top as Chelsea push more and more men forward. It will probably be a diagonal ball from Harry Kane to man like Son. Son's going to slot it away. And then there'll be some cryptic Instagram post from Jose. You know, we've had 2 shots on target and 1-2-0 when you had 15 shots. You know, it's going to be something like that. And I just think too many people have slept on Tottenham this season. And I was certainly one of them. And my team got absolutely annihilated. I'm not saying you're going to lose 6-1, but I'm backing Tottenham 110% this weekend.
But who's to say they break us down?
Exactly.
Who's to say that?
And Lampard's got a good record against Mourinho. Last season, and beat him twice.
He did.
So, the only other way I see Spurs coming out and beating Chelsea is if they play their game. If you guys sit back and play counter football, I think we'll win comfortably.
We can break teams down now. That's the difference.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. We can break teams down now. We couldn't do that last week, but we can now.
I want to ask Maya a question here. Do you think I get where they can break teams down now. Have Chelsea, since Thiago, Chili Bean, and the new goalie Mendy have arrived, do you think they've played anybody near your quality?
I think it's a different type of football that like Spurs are playing such a specific type of football, so it might not necessarily be the best football in the league. I'm sure that teams like City are playing a lot better football than us, but that particular style and the fact that we have it nailed on, I really do believe that Jose has us incredibly, I call it part of the bus and counter-attacking football, but if you're going to do it to the best that we can, and I believe we are. So in that capacity, no, I don't think Chelsea have played such a team that are playing this type of football so well. Yes, Chelsea might be able to break teams down, but whether you can break a team down that has been so defensively solid, and I do understand that Toby will be out and we're gonna have a different shaken up back four. I think the job that Højbjerg is doing in there, I mean, if you sometimes watch how he plays, he almost slots in and plays as a third centre-back. He's covering that defence so well as also creating as well. So him and his defensive surety isn't worrying me too much, to be honest. So I think it will be interesting if they can break us down.
I think that's a great point. Before we move forward, everyone tuning in, please smash that like and the share button. Let me just make this point right now. Smash the like and share button right now. Subscribe as well. Sign up to the newsletter, all that jazz. I'm not saying Chelsea are a bad team. How Chelsea win, I don't think, is by going all out attack. All out attack ends up losing. This is where we're going to see the battle for me. It's going to be Spurs will be pragmatic. I can't imagine Spurs being the overall aggressors in this game, not for large parts anyway. It's about Chelsea being reserved in the way they attack. If what Jose has a habit of doing is making teams that are playing against him feel comfortable even if they're because of the way they sit back. So we've always got the ball. We can commit an extra man forward. We can keep committing an extra fullback forward, and that's when they spring on the counter and attack you. They lure you in. They're just the masters of it. Remind me very much. Jose Mourinho's teams play like Floyd Mayweather boxes. A lot of fighters get into the first few rounds and think, I can open up against this guy because he hasn't really done too much, and he's basically sussing you out, inviting you on. As soon as you start opening up, the counters come in, he starts catching you. So that's where I think Chelsea need to be really careful in this game, is not to overcommit to try and break Chelsea down, because you're not, with all due respect, you're not playing against some of the cannon fodder that you've been up against. You're up against Tottenham, who are currently the best team in the league. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. You're not playing Rennes, you're not playing Burnley, you're not playing Sheffield United or Newcastle.
Or Antwerp. I was going to say Antwerp.
Yeah, listen. Okay, cool. I hear you on that one. I hear you on that one.
I think what this game will do is it will show us a lot about both teams, and I think both these teams need this game, because let's be serious. I know Spurs have beaten Man City and you blew them off the park, but we're the two most informed teams in the league at the moment, and it will definitely set out a statement. You know what I mean? And if Mourinho can get a result against us, that's great. You know what I mean? That's good for Spurs. Do I still think Spurs can win the league? No, I'm going to be honest. And the reason I don't think they'll win the league is because I just don't think they're going to keep the front three fit. And that's my honest opinion towards it. We've got a better squad depth than you guys. I just don't think with the guys up front that you guys have got that. So if you lose Harry Kane, who comes in?
No, I get your question. I was going to go to Maya, and that's going to be my next talking point. So it's a great segue, Jem. Thank you. Around what do you think you need to do, Maya, for people to take Tottenham seriously as title contenders?
I don't know. I don't think anyone is ever going to take us seriously because we haven't won anything in so long. People will say we're not winners. And for a long time, we haven't been winners. No. So I think people will just always have that agenda, and you just can't help that. I think that people will always have the agenda that we're bottlers as well. And that's probably why we're not in contention to win the title for a lot of people, because they just think that we'll get to March and bottle it, which is true. It's happened before. We look at the Leicester season, and we easily could have done something that season, and we didn't. So we look at the Champions League final. Like, I get why people have this approach towards Tottenham, because it's proven we've done it before. But I think you've just got to take everything into context. Look at the season that we're in. Look at the form that we're in. Look at the other teams around us and the injuries that they have. I personally still think Liverpool are going to win the league, but they've got half of their squad out. So I just think that people, deluded fans who are saying Tottenham aren't in contention are deluded, because why aren't they? Why shouldn't they be? This season, it's a crazy season. I think that Chelsea should be in it. City should be in it. Liverpool, Tottenham. I don't get why not. I challenge someone to give me a valid reason. Unless our best players get injured, why shouldn't Tottenham be in contention? Not we're going to win it, but why shouldn't we be in contention?
You were about to say Arsenal then, weren't you?
Oh, God, no.
You paused there for a second.
God, no.
Look at that. We found unity amongst Spurs and Chelsea fans by having to go at them. Before the boys answer that, I said something at the beginning that was wrong. This game's actually at Stamford Bridge, not at White Hart Lane. I'm not too sure why I thought it was at White Hart Lane. But Ian, I mean, when you look at Tottenham, there's never going to be any love lost between you Chelsea fans and them. Do you look at them as genuine title contenders, or do you think there is, and if you don't, to Maya's question, what logical reason is there as to why they can't do it?
I don't. This is a bit of a complex one. I don't see Tottenham as title contenders. I see Mourinho as a title contender, because that's what he does. He takes, sides that are good, sides that have been, decent for a few years, and makes them that next level, makes them that elite. So for him, and that point of view, yeah, he is. But I don't look at the back four. I don't look at the centre midfield, and I don't think, wow, this is absolutely star-studded. This is the team that wins the league. Mourinho won the league for Chelsea 2014-15, but we brought in Fabregas, we brought in Felipe Luis, we brought in Diego Costa, on top of an already decent side. Jose, because obviously the virus largely, he hasn't had a chance to do that. So he's got a squad of decent players, and kind of like Man United, you have to get me right on the year here, but the year they finished second behind Man City, was it 2018 or 2017, something like that? 2018. They've got a squad that's got, reasonable kind of aspects to it, with a couple of big star, like elite players, like, your Paul Pogba's and whatever. But to actually do it all season long is a very different thing. And also the other thing as well that you have to factor in is Tottenham are in the Europa League. Fine, they're doing quite well in it at the moment, all chill. But are you going to be able to do it when it gets to the middle of January, when you've got to go away, and in 3 days later you play against an Arsenal, you play against a Man City, a Chelsea, or whoever it is? If that happens twice, 3 times, 4 times to you, bye, that's you out of the title race. They've got a very good run so far, but this next run of games is absolutely crucial. And I don't know, honestly, off the top of my head, because I don't pay that much attention to Spurs, are they through in the Europa League or not through in the Europa League?
Not officially, no.
So you've still got these kind of 2 big games, or definitely at least 1 big game, followed by potentially big clash against someone you may have to pick up 3 points against. That's where I see Tottenham really lacking. But Jose's going to push them close, because that's what Jose does.
Here, how about yourself, Lewis? I mean, Chelsea fans like to still bask in the glory of officially stopping Tottenham from winning the league in the year that Leicester went on to do it. But you know Jose Mourinho, and that must play a factor here, because you all know, you can all try and pretend, you can all try and say it isn't true, but you all know a happy Jose is a very dangerous Jose.
Yeah. See, I'm not going to say too much about Tottenham, and that's because of it. We all know what second season Jose is all about. Chelsea fans especially. We know that this season, if not any season, he's going to bleed everything he can out of that Spurs side. And I've said it plenty of times. If Jose Mourinho cannot get Spurs a trophy, nobody will get Spurs a trophy. Don't sleep on Spurs. I'll be real. I am worried a little bit, but I'm also confident in Chelsea, which is why I'm not really saying too much. It is going to be... I'm looking at this sort of game is going to be whoever makes the mistake first. Whoever makes the first mistake, drops the first goal, I think is going to be the team that loses this game. But it's massive for both sides. But yeah, Jose Mourinho, second season Jose. As much as I hate to say, you got to take Spurs seriously this season. I do see them as title contenders.
We've got some honesty there from a Chelsea fan. I like to see it.